Conservation Corps. And this is Northern California Recycling Association. And we have Laura from the San Francisco Conservation Corps. And we've got Anya from the North Bay Conservation Corps. And we're going to ask a series of questions and ask each of you to respond to the same question. This is obviously focused on folks who are looking for work. So I think that it's definitely relevant, but the mission of your agencies, and as it, especially in terms of how it ties into the kind of work that you have and the kind of people, the kind of employees that you're looking for. So the first question is, where do you post jobs when you have them?
Okay, and we'll get to circle back to what our organization's all about.
No, yeah, we should. Let's start with that. You're right. We'll start with, what does a conservation do? Quick!
Okay, we'll make it brief. So again, my name is Laura McCoy. I'm the Associate Director of Green Programs for the San Francisco Conservation Corps. I've been with the company for 6 years now. And just a brief history about the San Francisco Conservation Corps, and I'll let you touch on yours. I guess overarching, well, we were the first conservation corps, so that's kind of where it begins. Municipally based conservation corps. We were started in 1983 when Mayor Feinstein wanted to kind of in-house some job training programs in the city of San Francisco, and her original vision was how to be part of the government. And kind of in the late hours of the formation of the San Francisco Conservation Corps, decided no, this should be a nonprofit entity. But kind of a legacy of its connection to the government is that we still have one board member that is written in by the mayor. So the mayor chooses one of our board members. So that's kind of our connection. It's been a long history of working on government-related projects, but we are an individual and nonprofit. Since that time, the Conservation Corps movement, the Municipal Conservation Corps movement has grown. And there are now 13 Conservation Corps throughout the state of California. So that's a little bit about who we are. What we're not is the civilian Conservation Corps, which a lot of people remember from the 30s that was started to kind of bring the New Deal about and bring us out of the Depression. That lasted for about 9 years, and that is the model upon which the conservation corps that you see today are built, but there's no direct lineage there anymore other than the model. And we're also not the California Conservation Corps, and a lot of people think that we're that. The California Conservation Corps does provide us our certification as a conservation corps, and again, it provides a lot of support as far as the types of projects, and we serve some population and things like that, but we're not the same thing. They typically work on spikes in parks and things like that. We are, with the Conservation Corps, the municipal-based Conservation Corps, working in cities and counties. So we're urban and they're more rural. So that's kind of a little bit of a distinction. The types of projects that the Conservation Corps work on are quite different. Typically, the main thing that we have in common is recycling. We work. A lot of our funding comes from CalRecycle, which is the entity that gets the bottle bill monies. So every time you buy that bottle or can and you don't give your 5 or 10 cents back, that goes into a pool, and a portion of that is written into legislature to be received by the conservation corps. So it does mean it's pretty solid on the funding department. Granted, that money is always in question. Well, these days is in question because so many people are recycling. It's double-edged sword. But still, there's a lot of money that's unredeemed, and the conservation corps are one of the entities that receive that. That's why we all recycle. From there, it looks a lot different. We do field project work typically. For us, that means installing playground structures, doing trail work, installing retaining walls, things like that, in parks throughout the city of San Francisco. But we spend a lot of our time doing recycling. We manage a recycling facility in the Presidio of San Francisco. And we have up to 30 corps members that work there. Corps members, I haven't talked about who they are. They're 18 to 26-year-old young people, typically. This will be their first real job opportunity. It's a job training program, so the idea is to really serve the hardest to serve folks that don't have a lot of job experience or no job experience, Typically, they come in without their high school diploma, but have timed out a traditional high school, so we're giving them the opportunity to get the high school diploma as well. And then they may have other barriers to employment, no driver's license, criminal background, things like that. So we really work to try and bring them up to employability. So that's who the core members are. We do recycling, we do zero waste, and when I get to the kind of jobs that we have open, I can talk more about the zero waste event specialists, because we've had have a couple of those positions I think I filled, but I can talk to you about a contractor position that we have open. And then we have the education component. So the service projects of work that they do is unpaid, is paid. The education component is unpaid. So they go to school 10 hours a week, mandatory, got to do it. And once they graduate, they still got to come 10 hours a week to try and get them into a job. There's a whole lot more to it, but that's kind of the basics of the San Francisco education. That was that short, but it was something.
That was awesome.
Thank you. You explained most of what I was going to say. I work for the Conservation Corps North Bay. We used to be called Marine Conservation Corps because we just served Marine County, and now we expanded into Sonoma County as well, so that's why North Bay. We're a nonprofit organization. Most of the things apply that Laura said. We have a variety of youth programs, and we have two different departments. One is the community recycling program, and one is the natural resources program. So one is trail maintenance, trail building, all kinds of things. You get hired by parks and stuff, pulling out invasive species, and then the recycling program, where we have about 835 pickup locations over in Sonoma County. And then we also have a AmeriCorps program, which is a program for college graduates. It's not a requirement to be a college graduate, but those corps members